two critical things that every sales manager needs to do in order to manage their sales pipeline. The first is define the stages of this pipeline. As you can see in this document here, we've got an example. Each stage of the pipeline is the place where the lead or the prospect is in the process of our sales funnel. And then each of these green lines is a gate or a threshold, some decision that they made, something they signed, some concrete yes or no thing that they did that tells me that they have objectively moved one step forward. So for example, I'm starting with people who are total strangers, cold outreach, emails, go to a trade show, gather business cards, whatever it is. And the gate that they go through is that they respond to my email or my request to have a meeting. As soon as somebody says, yes, I'll meet with you, they move into phase 2, which is the initial qualifying. In the initial qualifying, all we're trying to do is figure out if they're crazy or not. We have a very high level list of things that must be true about somebody who would be a user of our product. And the purpose of this call is to figure out whether those things are true or not. So just for example, these are going to be real basic. They have a legitimate website. In my example company, we sell to companies that are providing clinical care to members. And so if they're not providing clinical care to members, they can't be a user of my product. So I might ask a question such as, tell me about how you're providing clinical care to members. See, all of these are really, really high level, and they just let me know that this person could be qualified to use my product. If in fact they are qualified, all of these must be trues, proved to be true. I can ask them to take the next step. Hey, why don't you come on a follow-up call with me? We'll dive deep into what my product does, what your needs are. We'll see if there's a fit there. If they agree to that, they've moved into the next phase. Now we're on our deep dive. This is where we go more in depth to ascertain what is their pain, what is the value that they ascribe to that pain, and do I have the ability to fix it? So I'm asking second layer questions. Are your physicians end users? That's very important to be able to use my product. Do you have the problem that my product solves? Are you the type of people that buy new product or spend money on things like this, right? These are all the things that I do in my deep dive, along with showing them my product and answering their questions. I'm trying to get as much information from them as they are trying to get from me. If I can prove that all of these things are true and that they're actually qualified users, I can keep moving them down the sales funnel, each time asking for a very concrete action from them. Sign my NDA, agree to review the proposal and come on a call with me, redline it and send it back, whatever it is, all the way to signed LOI. In order to truly create momentum in my pipeline, I have to know at every phase, what is the next step I'm trying to get this person to take? What is my action to get them to take that? And then all I'm doing when I'm talking to them is trying to drive that result. The second thing that every sales manager should be doing on a weekly basis is looking at their full sales funnel and figuring out where each deal is along the way and what we're doing to drive it forward. So this is how we build accountability. This is how we make sure things don't fall through the cracks. So my recommendation is keep a CRM very, very simply like this. What's the name of the deal? Who's in charge? What phase of this pipeline is it in? Right? And you can see the way that this is set up is it makes it very clear who's in what stage. I can look over a list of 20, 30 opportunities, however it is, and know exactly where they all are. And then this is the most important part. You go line by line and you ask, okay, for Smith RX, what's the next step we need to get them to take? What is my required action to make that happen? When am I going to do that? Every single deal, you should be able to say, what's the next step? What's the action we're taking to make that happen? When is that going to happen? If we don't gather that information and keep gathering it every single week, deals will start to slow down in our funnel. So that's how we build accountability with ourselves or our sales teams. And that's how we make sure that deals are moving through the pipeline and closing at a constant pace.